Alright guys, so we're going straight into Diesel versus Shadow Venom. I get a lot of comments on YouTube from people getting very mad that sometimes these start up in the middle. Oh, Shadow Venom going right in against Diesel here. He might be able to find a kill. Diesel is going to ult here, but is it going to be enough? Yes, it will. Wow, just barely deters the Fenrir there long enough. So yeah, sometimes these matches, guys, they have to start with us jumping right into the action because Spectator is so shit, and as this tournament goes on, it'll just take too long for us to get into the match. So I do apologize for that. I could hold the matches for people, but then it takes a super long time for the tournament to finish, and I'm running these tournaments, you know, spending my own money to get the, you know, prize money to these people, and, you know, I don't like them to run too long for the day, otherwise, you know, it impairs my, you know, my stream for the day. So I do apologize for the, you know, slight lack in quality there, but hopefully, you know, you find it just as enjoyable. Try to catch you up to speed here, of course. We have Diesel versus Shadow Venom. Shadow Venom, a fantastic player overall who loves lower tier picks, and actually, as I've always noted with Shadow Venom, he almost always in the you know, in these lower tier tournaments, picks the bottom tier regardless of you know, of the optimal picks. And for the first time here, we actually see him going you know, one of the best picks available in Fenrir. Now this matchup against what the hell is this god's name, dude? My God, I'm losing it. This guy, his name is definitely Ooga Booga or something like it. Oh my God, I actually cannot remember his name right now. I don't know if it's the skin throwing me or I'm trying to hover. It's not showing up. Alright, Ooga Booga until chat corrects me. So the matchup against Ooga Booga here is quite interesting because the Brutalize doesn't follow through his, you know, his teleport, as it does count. I believe it's a leap. Raijin, yes, Raijin. Okay, yeah, of course. So we... So we have Raijin here going up against the Fenrir, and as the Brutalize does get interrupted by that 3 of the Ooga Booga. I'm sorry, I know I'm triggering many of you. It's very important to note that Fenrir's combo cannot be fully utilized here. So, you know, Diesel can do a lot to deter Fenrir and, you know, kind of kite him, but at the same time, Fenrir has an enormous amount of burst damage, and if built correctly, can really just soak up so much damage. He can be played almost like a warrior, as you see. Wow, that was a weird... That was strange what just happened. Almost like a warrior here in his build. As you can see, Shadow Venom really optimizing on that and utilizing that sort of build strategy, going straight into a runic shield, which is strange because, I mean, auto attack is important for Raijin, but not really the speed of his auto attacks, more the fact that he just gets an auto attack off once he has the, you know, the passive from his 2 on the opponent. Not the passive from his 2, but the active mark from his 2 on his opponent. So interesting to see this runic shield picked up. It's definitely going to give him that early protection, which is great for him though. I just think I would have rather seen the silver talisman picked up here. Oh, this is going to be close. I don't know if Shadow Venom should be going in for this, but he seems to know. Oh, nah, not going to be on the mark with that 3, just way out of range. That's the escape from Raijin is just so massive in that it makes him immune to damage while he uses it, as long, you know, during the startup of it, and it mesmerizes. So it is quite a potent escape, really making him a good 1v1 god. If that, you know, if that didn't have those properties to it, it wouldn't be quite as strong. You know, he wouldn't be quite as strong because his escape would be very lackluster. Very hard to follow through with that. You know, not like a Neath backflip where, you know, it's so easy to follow up on, so easy to predict. You know, this is a straight up like teleport that just transports the player so far away and in an instant. Very hard to follow up on. So Diesel really feeling the pressure here from Shadow Venom, and a large part of that, other than Fenrir being so strong in the early game, because Raijin is also very strong in his early presence. He's got a lot of early clear potential, and he's got a huge amount of early burst damage. He does scale better than Fenrir, though, and that's going to be the real test to see if Shadow Venom can put up with that late game from Raijin. If he can, amass enough of a lead here, he might be able to just take him out before that late game matters. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. The other thing really propelling Shadow Venom through this early game so swiftly is the Hog pickup, which obviously allows him so much buff control. Doesn't seem like Diesel has been able to get much at all on the board. A swing and a miss with that jump is actually going to spell a little bit of trouble, or a lot of trouble potentially, for Shadow Venom. I don't know that he'll win this engagement if he continues it too far into the tower there. So he's got to back off. He does end up getting more burst onto Diesel, but he spends most of his mana doing it. So he's got to be careful about overstaying here, as Diesel does have his ultimate available. See, this is where the real problem arises for Fenrir, as his burst damage starts to fall off. Diesel's picked up the Warlock Sash and Breastplate of Valor very early on here. The standard, standard mage build versus assassins, versus most physicals in general, and you're gonna see that burst damage just start to really dwindle, as Shadow Venom will probably be forced into some form of auto attack here if he really needs to fight this in the late. Right now, he's definitely going to still try to make that burst relevant. And to be fair, a large reason why he hasn't been able to do as much as he would in this early game is because he's optimized into double defense to start off here. And while it's been a smart pick to deter Diesel and really prevent him from really doing much damage to the Fenrir, it's led to Fenrir not being able to do much in return here. So no first blood on the board, despite a pretty commanding lead in experience. Shadow Venom going to have this ultimate available soon, I would, yeah, not soon enough, unfortunately. He got a lot of damage off there. Had that ultimate been up, it would have been a risky situation for Diesel. At least would have popped his beads. He's going for it here, and wow, what a smart decision by Diesel to ult instead of beads there. Uses the CC immunity and actually able to get some shots off onto Fenrir as he backs off there as well. So maintains his beads, gets ult for ult, and actually gets lane pressure there. So fantastic job by Diesel. Great reaction time on that. Diesel picking up some pen, so he's going to be swinging a lot harder right now. Shadow Venom, of course, doing the same. So both players going to be, really piling it on here. But it starts to shift in favor of Diesel, for Raijin here as the game goes forward. So going to be, an interesting outcome. I do think that Fenrir will have to go into auto attack in order to really keep up with the burst here. He does secure that red buff. What a big experience lead for Shadow Venom right now, but he hasn't been able to translate it into much. Once again, the ultimate not up in the perfect scenario that would have popped beads again, or at least forced out the ultimate from Diesel, allowing some more damage onto him. Okay, so good ult there, because Diesel, of course, was unable to use his ultimate as he was stunned. That's really got to be Shadow Venom's play here, is go for the ult only after he confirms the stun from his 1, in order to keep Diesel stunned long enough that he can't ult out of his ult in reaction. Still yet to force beads though, and Shell picked up for Diesel means just even more defense and even less burst potential for Shadow Venom. So just, oh man, it's getting so difficult for Fenrir as this game scales forward here. Yeah, chat is super dead right now. I think it's because most people are actually playing in the tournament too. and because the relegations are going on right now. Another reason why we didn't have that many entrants this time. My apologies for that with the timing, you guys. Sharky King, my man, thank you so much, dude. He does things Venom can't. My man, thank you so much for the 3 months. I love you. I really do appreciate it, man. Wow, big damage from Shadow Venom here with that Jotun's finish. Able to do so much. Wow, dash in place from Diesel. A really nice weakening curse comes out. And Shadow Venom, though, getting pushed away. He's going back in. Will he be able to find it? He does. First blood goes to Shadow Venom. Nshadow Sword, thank you so much for the 100 cheer. Actually, using the cheer for Diesel, that on-screen pop-up, that's actually pretty cute. I like that a lot. I've seen that for like Smash tournaments and stuff. So the unfortunate part here is while that kill got Shadow Venom more gold because it was the first blood, he is actually down for a little bit longer, 8 seconds longer than Diesel. So Diesel's going to be able to utilize that time, you know, to at least force a wave in and get some pressure back. And catch up a little bit on farm. You know, it's not that consequential, but knowing Diesel, as you can see, he's headed out of base quite quickly here. He's trying to head on over as soon as possible, and he will gain, you know, gain more presence right here because of it. What a tight engagement that was, and what a smart pickup in the weakening curse. Knowing that once Diesel's 3 is down, other than his ultimate, he doesn't have, you know, he's a pretty stagnant target. So if Shadow Venom can lay into him here, it's really strong. And you also got to consider that he did it. He waited for Shadow Venom to pick up, or at least I believe he did, wait for Shadow Venom to, or waited for Diesel to pick up his second active. Knowing that it was Shell and not Sprint, utilizes that fact, and might even be able to go Frostbound here to keep Diesel down. He goes Fatalis over it, so I think that's an interesting pick. Either one could be effective here, but Frostbound might work out even better because of the lack of sprint on Diesel's side. I do respect the Fatalis though, because like I said, a lot of this is going to come down to auto attack. But without auto attack in his, you know, without auto attack progression with like an Executioner or a Chins here, I don't think that it's going to be quite enough with just the Fatalis. Could be wrong though. Maybe Shadow Venom will prove it. Thank you, Rich. How you doing, dude? What's up, Cacta? Oh, another aggressive dash from Diesel. Very, very risky maneuver from him here. Coming down to the wire, and a nice hog from Shadow Venom. Will he be able to follow this up? Yes, he is, with that beautiful weakening. Very, very nicely done, and he takes out Diesel for the first significant kill of the game. Diesel's down for, what was that, 35? That's quite a bit of time for Shadow Venom to go forward and actually take this tower here. This could be Diesel's biggest upset ever, and Shadow Venom's, you know, biggest showing. He's like I said, this is a phenomenal player that really would show up more if he took his tournaments more seriously. He's never really played to win, and he admits that every time, you know. So that's just his thing, you know. He likes to play to have fun in these, and this time around he might be trying to make a statement and really show up more. Very curious to see Diesel go into a Chronos Pendant here instead of just going cooldown boots. Usually at this stage in the build you can just sell those pen boots for cooldown boots, and really would have been able to get a better item online than that Chronos Pendant. So I'm surprised to see it. I would have really liked to see a better, you know, a better damage option here. But given that he's so behind in gold, he might have just seen that that he didn't have enough for Rod and went forward with the Chronos Pendant, you know. Had an awkward amount left. Wow, Shadow Venom tearing through Diesel right now. Awkward ultimate, though. Will he be able to make this? Shadow... Oh, my God. Diesel actually tries to beads and isn't going to make it out in time. So this looks like a dead Phoenix. Despite the cheers for Diesel in chat, Shadow Venom showing up right now. This seems like, in all honesty, a very favorable matchup for Fenrir. Just his ability to chase down the Raijin here, and his ability to, you know, scale into auto attack and really, you know, put up with his put up with his burst. Like I said, if he asserted himself so strongly in the early game, he would have a good time, you know, in this late game, and that's certainly what he did here. Up 4 levels. This could be a different story, or could have been a different story, if Diesel was able to maintain that, you know, maintain that experience throughout the game. But given as the pace was set by Shadow Venom here so aggressively, he's having such a tough time keeping up. Going for the rod right now is Diesel, and his build is really starting to shape up here, but is it too late? Beads are down, so a you know, another aggressive approach by Shadow Venom here. If he uses the stun correctly, he could kill Diesel here for the final kill of the game, but is also aware that, of course, Diesel is going to camp this out under Titan right now. And while the Titan has reduced regeneration, it's still extremely hard to take a significant amount of damage from it, or a significant amount of health from the Titan, and still make it out alive. So you have to be super careful right now in this current meta. At least until they tweak the respawn timers back, so that the winning side, the person that's ahead, doesn't have to worry about a 50-second respawn timer upon diving that Titan. It will allow more aggression and the games to run a little bit more smoothly, because as you can see, you know, the camping here is mandatory for Diesel, and it works a little too well. He's walking up. He does see Shadow Venom here, I think. Wow, unfortunate that he did not have the stacks up there. Shadow Venom, of course, would have rather stacked up there, but of course, knowing that that he would have revealed himself, didn't do it. Wow, what a smart play though. Gets the ultimate out and gets a tiny bit of damage onto the Titan. Of course, that wasn't his real mission there. It was to force something out from Diesel. But as you can see, defense from Diesel here is just a little too strong for Shadow Venom to deal with. I would really like to see that Chronos Pendant traded out for something, and that those boots turn into cooldown boots. In terms of what it could be changed for, though, probably like a Polynomicon, given that you know, the burst from Raijin is so powerful that he could really translate that into a significant amount of damage. Big stun. Beads do come out, so they are forced here, and Shadow Venom in an excellent position to take this Phoenix as it respawns here. Diesel's gonna try to go ahead and clear up this wave. Is really his only chance to really stick it to him. Oh no, Shadow Venom, I don't know about this play. He's got to realize that he's got to take out the tower, or the Phoenix first, and he's giving Diesel an opportunity to come back into this now. Wow, very, very surprising. I think that he, you know, he overestimated his ability to surprise Diesel there. He thought, you know, I can go in with the surprise engagement because Diesel, of course, is going to think that I'm going for the Phoenix and maybe score a kill. But no, under his own Titan, Diesel is too safe there, especially with his ultimate up, to just pile on the damage. Very smart of Shadow Venom to go forward and just take out this Fire Giant right now. But like I said, going into this late game now without the ability to end, this is why I don't like the way that the respawn, of course, the Gold Fury goes down. I don't understand when they're going to change that, man. I just don't get it. But yeah, this is the only reason I don't like the respawn timers as they are right now, because it stops gods like Fenrir, who should be rewarded for being able to play up the early game as strong as he did. You know, a slight lead for Fenrir is justified and is expected in this sort of a matchup. But as much of a lead as Shadow Venom amassed, like, that is a large, you know, that's much larger than is just granted to him based on matchup. So there we go. Very smart of him to do that. Stun Diesel out. Take care of him for a little bit. Very good ultimate here. Will he be able to follow it up? Shell is popped. Weakening is popped as well. He's going to fear him away here. Very smart by Diesel. Good option. And there you go. As you can see, the immunity, once again, just helping Diesel out there. Shadow Venom lifestealing it up, and we'll have to start diving the Titan here. And his respawn timer is going to be so long that it's going to be tough to justify these dives. So that's the tough part for melees right now. Look at that. Such easy clear. Wow, Diesel actually translates into, readjusts his build into Anemian here, so he's got double defense right now. and did go for those cooldown boots to secure the cooldown that he needs. All right, so here his siege goes. He takes some of it out. Yeah, and that respawn timer is good. Or not the respawn timer, I'm sorry, the regeneration reduction is good, but oh my god, Shadow Venom might have just baited himself a little too hard here, or could have baited Diesel though. Ultimate comes out. Oh, Shadow Venom taking so much here, but the creeps are in. Oh my god. What a close engagement. Look at that. 53-second respawn timer for Shadow Venom. This is what I don't like about the current state of Duel after this change. You can't even take out that Titan. You can't even poke it out safely without having someone camping underneath it and dealing damage to you enough to deter you from ever trying to siege it, because once you do go for that siege, you end up losing everything off of it. Phoenix might even go down here. A lot of creeps have been lost for Diesel though due to those fire creeps, so it doesn't look like he'll be able to take it. He's thinking about it, but no, only 13 seconds left on Fenrir's respawn. In this particular instance, Fenrir was far pushed up enough for the death to not lose him the game. Wow, Jabber actually took out Pernus, the meme overlord himself. Did he really? Damn. Jabber has now taken out 2 members of Bed of Chaos so far in the last 2 tournaments. Bleed and now Pernus. I'd like to know what that matchup was. Wow, 3K pot picked up for Diesel here, and it is a power pot. Given that he's already got double defense, he feels, you know, just lay into him with some power here. He has enough survivability as is, and that Phoenix comes back up. So as you can see, it's just so rough for Shadow Venom because he can't make trades for the Titan right now, or else he risks losing way too much. Another death here will surely allow Diesel to take out the Phoenix, and then there you go. The game will have shifted right into Diesel's hands. So Shadow Venom definitely struggling with the unfortunate way that Duel is positioned right now with those longer respawn timers. And like I said, longer respawn timers is something that needed to happen for the game mode and are great for the game mode, but unfortunately it stops melee gods and these earlier to mid game gods from really ending games that do belong to them. I do believe that in every right, Shadow Venom should have been able to win this with the way he was playing, but instead he is kind of punished for his need for aggression here. Shell popped. Shadow Venom in a really rough spot here. He's got to get out. There we go, but he's looking to re-engage. Wow, this is actually super, super close, but I don't know. Shadow Venom, no. Damn, tries to take him, but just too strong is that late game Raijin. Surrender comes out. Damn, man, I'd be pissed as hell. He played so well there, but it just did not pan out because of the way that the game mode is structured right now. Got to give it to Diesel for being able to escape so many close engagements and being able to really make the most of his of his god's potential there by getting to late game. But you gotta criticize the respawn timers in their current state for how little they allowed Fenrir to do there as the game went on. Like I said, if they were a little bit shorter, Fenrir would have been able to sacrifice for the Titan and keep sacking to it while being able to gain something off of it. Instead, he's just forced with a position where he has to watch Raijin Titan camp there and has literally nothing he can do about it. GG.